Alex Eala made a historic semifinal run at the Miami Open in 2025 and broke into the WTA Top 100. The sun was already beginning to melt into Miami horizon when Alexandra Eala stood by the waters, before her semifinal match. She could hear the ocean breathing calm, rhythmic like her heart trying to keep pace with destiny. The ocean doesn't rush, she whispered to herself. It just keeps moving. That was exactly how she played all week. Steady, relentless, never flinching against waves that once would have drowned her. Now the 19-year-old Filipina stood on the brink of tennis immortality. The 2025 Miami Open was no ordinary tournament. It was her arrival, the beginning from Manila's heat to Miami spotlight. Alexandria's journey had always been more than a chase for trophies. It was a chase for belief. Born in Manila, raised on humid courts where dreams often wilted faster than tennis balls in tropical heat. A learned early that success would not come gift-wrapped. Her mother, Riza Manuela, a former national swimmer, and her father, Mike, both understood the sacrifices it took to nurture greatness. When Alex was 12, she left home to train at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, a move that changed her life forever. When I arrived in Spain, I couldn't even understand the drills, Alex once recalled with a laugh. But I understood effort. That's universal. Years of discipline, tears, and quiet perseverance followed. She grew not just as an athlete, but as a thinker, a fighter, and slowly a symbol for nation, longing for representation in global sport. Miami 2025, a tournament of transformation. When the Miami Open began in late March 2025, Eala entered as a world number 112, talented but unheralded, a wild card few considered, dangerous. By the end of week one, she had become the story. In the opening round, she stunned former top 20 player Madison Keys in straight sets, 6-2, 4-6-3. The crowd buzzed. The commentators scrambled for notes. Who is this composed young woman with a fearless forehand and a smile that refused to fade? She plays like she has nothing to lose, Key said afterward. But there's depth behind that joy. You can see it. Then came the second round clash with Daria Kasatkina, a grueling 3-hour battle under the humid Miami night. Eala saved 2 match points, rallying with unbreakable calm. Her signature cross-court forehand sealed the win at 2:07 a.m., and she raised her arms, tears mixing with sweat. That match changed something inside me, she said later. I stopped trying to prove and started to believe. The Philippine pride awakens. By the time she reached around to 16, the Philippines was awake, literally. Across Manila, Quezon City, Davao and Cebu, cafes and bars streamed. Her matches at dawn. Students wore shirts that read, "Trust the Eala era." Social media exploded with pride. She's doing it for every Filipino who ever dared to dream. History in the making, from Alabang to Miami, for a country where tennis often took a backseat to basketball and boxing. Alex had become a revelation, a spark reigniting national imagination. The quarterfinal facing the giant. Her quarterfinal opponent was none other than Aina Sabalenka, the reigning Australian Open champion and world number 2. Most experts predicted a quick, brutal affair. Instead, what followed was a modern-day classic. Eala fought like a storm contained in sunlight, absorbing power, redirecting pace, returning fire with precision. At 19, she didn't look intimidated. She looked inspired when she took the first set 7-6 in a thrilling tiebreak. The Miami crowd, normally partisan toward American stars, found itself chanting, Ella Yele Yele, though she eventually lost 7-6, 3-6, 4-2, 6. She walked off the court to a standing ovation. Sabalenka hugged her and whispered, "You're going to be a problem for everyone soon." The next morning, the WTA website published a headline, Alexandra Eala, the new face of fearless tennis, breaking into the top 100. Her semifinal run earned her 390 ranking points, enough to catapult her into the WTA top 100 for the first time. In history, she became the first Filipina to achieve that milestone, breaking a barrier that has stood for decades. Her coach, Daniel Miramontes, said it best: she's no longer the future of Philippine tennis. She is the present. Ella took it all in with her characteristic humility. The return home. When she returned to Manila in April, the airport was overflowed with fans waving flags and banners. "Welcome home, Alex. History made proud Filipina." She greeted them with tears and gratitude, bowing slightly before lifting the flag high. "This is for all of us," she said simply. The next chapter. Her semifinal run earned her direct entry into upcoming Grand Slams, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. But her eyes are not just on titles. She plans to build tennis programs in underprivileged Philippine communities, ensuring access to equipment and coaching for kids who dream big. "I was lucky," she said. "Now, it's my turn to pass that luck forward." The art of resilience. What makes her rise poetic is its pace, deliberate, patient, and authentic, unlike overnight sensations. Eala's success is built on quiet persistence. She's a kind of athlete who values growth over glamour. ESPN analyst Pam Schreiber remarked, "That's why she'll last." Her mantra remains, "Keep blooming." The symbolism of Miami. Miami wasn't just a location. It was destiny's intersection, a city where Latin warmth meets global ambition, a fitting backdrop for a Filipina raised in Spain chasing her place among the world's best. The ocean that surrounded the city became her metaphor, endless, restless, beautifully uncontained. The human behind the hero. Off court, she remains grounded, binge watching dramas, sketching flowers, or notebook baking banana bread for her teammates. Her friends say she still laughs too hard at bad jokes and FaceTimes her mom before every match. That balance between fire and fun keeps her whole. "Tennis is what I do," she often says, "but it's not all that I am." The moment that defined her legacy. In one final press conference, a reporter asked, "When did you realize you were making history?" Eala smiled and answered, "When I looked into the stands and saw little girls waving the flag. That's when I knew it wasn't just about me anymore." Beyond rankings, breaking into the top 100 is only the start. But for Alex, the number isn't what matters. It's what it represents. A door kicked open. The top 100 isn't a finish line. She said it's an invitation, the legacy in motion. Sports historians already predict that Ella's Miami run will become a cornerstone in Philippine sports history, the moment tennis stopped being niche and started being national. Years from now, they'll tell the story of the girl who dared to dream beyond borders, who turned every no into a yes, every loss into a lesson, and every serve into a statement. The ocean returns. After all the celebrations, the interviews, and the noise, Alexandra Eala returned to the same beach where her story had begun, the same ocean, the same breath. The waves rolled in softly like applause from nature itself. She closed her eyes, smiled, and whispered again, "The ocean doesn't rush. It just keeps moving. Neither does she, because greatness, like the tide, always comes back stronger. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next